Hi, my name's Isa Kanja. I'm the founder of Property Rocket and an avid property investor. In this DVD, I'm going to share with you my story and how I was able to build a large property portfolio using none of my own money in a very, very short period of time. I'm going to give you the specific strategies that I used to be able to create these results for myself. So you're going to learn how to apply these strategies straight away. You're going to learn how to implement them, how to build a property portfolio using very little or none of your own money. You're going to be able to do it rapidly, all whilst mitigating a whole lot of your risk. These strategies have helped thousands of Australians create the same results for themselves. I'm looking forward to you being able to do the same too. One of these strategies can either help you save hundreds of thousands of dollars or make hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more, as long as you apply them. So sit back, take a whole lot of notes, and enjoy. Good evening and welcome. My name's Isa Kanja and it is a very weird name, I know. It's the last two letters of the alphabet and the first. I need to have a couple of drinks to tell you how I got the name. Look, it is weird, I understand that completely. The easiest way to remember my name is the word easy, except I'm not. Okay, not anymore anyway, and thank God my mum's not here. Look, we're going to talk tonight about how to create wealth through property. Just a quick show of hands. Are you here because you're interested in property? Okay, wonderful, excellent. All right, so let's get started. There's a lot we're going to cover tonight, but before we do move on to the content, I want to show you a quick disclaimer, and that is that the information you find tonight is of general information only. It's not to be taken as specific advice for your particular situation. We recommend that you do get independent legal and financial advice to help your specific circumstance. Is that all right with you guys? All right, brilliant. Now, here's another thing I want to cover, risk. There is risk in everything that we do. When we buy our own home, is there a risk? Yep. When we buy an investment property, is there a risk? Yeah, absolutely. When we cross the road, is there a risk? Yeah, there is. So there's risk in everything that we do. Now, if there's risk in everything that we do, it'd be silly for me to stand here and say to you guys, you know what? I'm going to show you strategies where there's no risk at all. Like, that would be a lie, because there's risk in everything we do. However, what I do want to do is show you some strategies where you can mitigate your risks. You see, in difficult global economic times, and let's face it, we are going through some difficult global economic times, the risk is even more apparent. Would you guys say so? Yeah, and it's even more present. So there is the opportunity for us to mitigate those risks though. So today I'm going to show you some strategies to bring down the risk factor, to make sure you're not overexposed to that. Is that all right with you guys? You should be a bit excited about that. There are a few things that we're going to cover. All right, we're going to talk about how to find the right property deals. No two of us are the same, so how can my investment type or the properties that I'm interested in be good for you? Yeah, and the ones that you like, how can that be exactly right for me? Each of us are different, so we're going to need different deals. Not only are we going to need different deals, what we want are properties that are going to outperform the rest of the market. See, anyone can look up a property on domain.com.au. Would that be right? Anyone can go to a real estate agent and say, I want to buy an investment property, can you help me out? They'll show you properties. It's not hard to do that. So what is it that we're trying to do? We're trying to find the type of properties that outperform the rest of the market. The ones that are going to give us maximum results, maximum profits, and maximum returns, and maximum growth. Yeah? So we really, really want the right type of property deals, not the prettiest property. In fact, I'm even going to say that we're not after a property. We're after a profitable deal, not a property. Yeah. I want to talk about how to choose the right investment strategy. Once again, no two of us are the same. We all have different life circumstances. So the same strategy can't suit each of us. When I first started investing, everyone taught me one way to do things. Just one way. It's always, you should only do negative gearing, you should only do positive gearing, you should only do house and land, you should only develop, renovations, that's the only way to go. I think that coming from one angle is naive. It really shouldn't be the case, because none of us are the same. How can one strategy work for everyone? It's about what I think would be empowering is if we had a plethora or a choice of strategies that we can apply in our lives depending on the situation we're in. Now, I've got a question for you guys. Can our life circumstances change in a moment? Yeah? We can go from being single to getting married and having two incomes. We can go from having a job to no job. We can go from having 2 incomes, suddenly 1 income and kids. Would that be right? And it can happen really, really, really quickly. Yeah? So here's the thing. Every time our life circumstances change, what do we do with our investment strategy? So what we need is a range of strategies that we can apply no matter how our situation changes. So that we know, as soon as my situation changes, I go from this strategy to that strategy. Hands up if you think that would be empowering. Yeah? Absolutely, this is what you guys need to know. Yeah? To be able to, I guess, propel your investment future moving forward, not a one-off. Not when you've only got income. Not when you've only got, a job. Well, what if you don't have a job? What if you haven't got the income? What if you do have the cash, but you don't want to use the cash? Yeah? This is what's important for you to know. Well, how can I situate or position myself in the best position to get the best results? We're going to talk about how to create profits from property straight away. When do you make profits from property? Anyone? Sorry, ma'am? When you buy. I mean, that would be wonderful if that was true. Most people, though, I would say 95% of the population, would you agree, loses money as soon as they buy. Why? I'd love it to be as soon as you buy, but why do people lose money when they buy? Because when you buy, you're not paying just for the property. What are you paying for? Anyone? Any guesses? Yeah? Well, tell me what's involved when buying a property. You pay for the property. What else do you need to pay for? Legal costs. What else? Stamp duty. Are those small amounts? No. They're large amounts. They're expensive amounts. So as soon as you buy, you're paying for the property and you've got costs on top of that. You're actually paying more than what the property is worth. You're actually behind straight away. Would that be right? Yeah. You've gone backwards straight away. Now, it would be awesome if we could buy a property and after all our costs, we are still ahead. Meaning to say the property is worth more than everything that we've paid for it, everything that's gone towards it. Do you think that would be good? Yeah, okay, great. Yeah. What if I could top that? What if you could buy a property, make a profit straight away, you're ahead straight away, and you did it using none of your own money? Awesome? Oh, hands up, come on, a little bit. Hands up if you think that'd be great. All right, so here's the thing. Okay, so what if I could top that even further? What if you could buy a property, make a profit straight away, do it with none of your own money, and walk away with cash? Hands up if you like that. Okay, brilliant. Would you believe me if I said I was going to do it tonight and show you how to do it tonight? Oh, you do? Oh, okay, good. I was ready for a fight there. Okay, I am going to show you how to do that tonight. In fact, I've got a few big promises tonight, and I'm, a little nervous. I'm going to have to make sure I follow through, but I think I will. We're going to show you how to invest in property using little or none of your own money. This is my passion. Every time I bought a property, I've used none of my own money. Yeah, none of my own money. And I'll share with you my story a little bit later. And this is absolutely possible, but you need to know how. There's a formula in knowing how to do it. And it doesn't mean that you should have no money to get started. What I'm saying is if you have money, if you don't have money, there is an opportunity for you. You just need to know how to get started. Here's the other big promise I'm going to give to you this evening. And that is that I'm going to show you in our session together, no matter what position in life you're in, no matter whether you've got income, no income, cash, no cash, a job, no job, whatever your position is, I will show you how you can get started at investing in property. Is that a big call? It's an enormous call. I'm nervous. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I will show you how to do that this evening. The next thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to jump into the market and win. Now, there is your opportunity for you to start making money in property straight away. And a lot of people go to a lot of educational events, they listen to books, they listen to they listen to books, I don't know how to listen to a book, but they read books, they listen to CDs, and they educate themselves. And who here has been to other seminars before? Okay, great. So they do a lot of this stuff, and that's great. But it's never really worth anything until you start seeing some cold results, some hard results. Yeah? Would you agree? So why is it that people don't always get results? Why don't they? Fear. I tell you why they don't get results. They don't take action a lot of the time. Or they're not taking the right action. And I'll tell you why they don't do that. It's because they're scared. Yeah? Well, what's the two biggest things? Now, fear is not usually what they say. They usually have a different excuse. What's the two biggest excuses? Could you guess? Tell you the first one. I don't have the time. Yeah? Who said that before? Don't have the time. Good info? Yeah, don't have the time though. Yeah, would've, could've, yeah, should've. Yeah, but then life got in the way. Guess what? Life's always gonna get in the way. Doesn't matter. The next big excuse, can anyone guess? No money. Yeah, I don't have the time, I don't have the money. Those are the two big excuses. I'm gonna help reduce those excuses, if not eradicate them this evening. The first one, I don't have the time. You know what? Time is always a part element. But I guarantee you, each of us have the same amount of time. Yeah? I guarantee you, someone that's extremely busy will get the results. Someone who's overly busy will get the results. However, I will show you a way where it can take less time. If you follow a formula, I believe it, by the way, that time is money. So the longer you take to do something, the more money you're losing, yeah, until you get the results. So I'm going to show you, well, how can you reduce that time factor and you can get results straight away. I'm also going to show you how to do deals using little or none of your own money. That being the case, I've taken away the excuse of no money. Does that make sense? So tonight, you will not have those excuses anymore. Then it's all on you. Yeah? So I will show you how you can take steps. Now, you can decide to take big leaps, as I have, and you can take big leaps, big risks, and get great results. It's absolutely possible. Or you can decide to take baby steps. That too is completely okay. Here's the one thing, you need to take steps. You need to be moving forward. If you're not moving forward, you're actually going backwards. Yeah? So it's really, really important that you know how to do this. I'll show you how to do that this evening. And during our session, I'm going to give you the opportunity, for those of you that are interested, I'm going to give you the opportunity to hear about a course that I've put together that will help bring this information together for you. So this is where I'm from. It's a very small, very beautiful, rural place in the Philippines. It's a place called Guimaras. Has anyone heard of it? No? Yeah, not even the Filipinos have heard of it. Yeah. All right, it is beautiful. I took these photos when I was over there on holiday. Now, the reality is many of my friends live like this. That's actually one of the boats I took to school every single day, from the island to the mainland. A lot of fun during typhoon season, by the way. Yeah, the amount of times I got in trouble with the nuns for arriving in school drenched head to toe. Yeah, but this was the reality, this was the lifestyle that I lived. Many of my friends live like this and live like this. Now, I'm not showing this for you to feel sorry for me. I'm actually very proud of where I'm from. Whenever anything goes wrong, I think, well, how bad can it get? Yeah. Now, I am much more fortunate than my friends, and I was back then as well. However, it still was a different upbringing, a different life altogether. I arrived in Australia at the age of 21. Now, coming from there to here, yeah, what I thought is that the Western world would cure everything and that I would be a millionaire as soon as I got here, because the rest of you, the movies told me you were all millionaires. That's what it said, yeah? Got here, reality slapped me in the face, and it slapped me hard. I couldn't get a job, yeah? So I couldn't get a job, and that can be really, really hard when you have no money to come over in the first place. Finally, I got a job eventually as a temp doing data entry for Aussie Home Loans. You guys know Aussie Home Loans? And what I had noticed is that some people, because all I did all day, every day, was copy loan applications from paper onto a computer system. Yeah, really, really boring stuff. But what I'd noticed is some people who applied for loans had low incomes, but they had a lot of assets behind them. And then other people, and they had good cash flow, I should say, yeah? Other people had high incomes, and they couldn't get approved for a loan. Does that happen? Hands up here if you know someone who's got really good income and nothing much to show for it. Anyone? It's quite common. Would you agree? Yeah. So I thought to myself, there must be a key. If people with low incomes can do this, there must be a connection between buying property and finance, getting the loans for it, and how it's structured. Because I was seeing people getting approved for loans and others not. So I wanted to work out how that was going to work, and I decided, well, then maybe property will help me create that wealth. I decided actually that I wanted to be a millionaire and I was going to do it through property. All right, so I decided, I was 22 when I decided that was going to be my vehicle. So I immersed myself in education for 6 months. I immersed myself in education. I educated myself in finance strategies, investment strategies. I read books, I listened to tapes, I did everything that I could. I had absolutely no savings. Yeah, so I had no cash behind me whatsoever, no assets, low income of $25,000 when I first started. The only asset base I had was my shoe collection. It's the first thing any girl ever invests in. Yeah, I am Filipino, and Imelda Marcos runs in the blood. All right, so in 6 months I went from zero, still in the low income, zero, to a multi-million-dollar portfolio using none of my own money. Now, I'm not sharing the story with you to impress you either. What I'm trying to do is show you that I'm no different from you. I actually sat in rooms like this, yeah, and I learned from other people too. I don't want to be different from you. Maybe I'm a little bit louder, that's about it, really. But I want to show you that there is an opportunity. If I can do it, so can you. I had to jump into action. This is absolutely possible. And tonight, hopefully, you'll be able to see how you can do that the same way. Now, because there is a lot of information coming your way, it can get a little bit overwhelming sometimes. And what I've noticed is that when people have a lot of information coming to them at once, or there's stuff coming to them that they've heard before but never seen before. Yeah? They've heard about and never personally experienced. When that happens, we have what I call a little chatter monkey in our head, and it never, ever, ever stops. It talks to you all day, every day, and it says things without you even initiating it to. So when you woke up, it said to you, you know, I still want to go back to sleep. Or it says to you what you want for breakfast. Or as soon as you walk in and you saw me, it says to you, oh, I like a dress, I don't like a dress. I like a shoes, no, I don't like a shoes. It doesn't matter. It never stops. Am I right or am I right? Yeah? This natter always happens, and it happens uncontrollably. And when you've got new information coming your way, our tendency is to say, not possible, can't happen. No, doesn't work. Because it's our reaction, because it's not in our reality. So I'm not here to change your mind or make your mind up for you. Yeah? It's definitely not what I want to do. However, I do request another deal from me to you. What I would like is for you to catch that chatter monkey in your head. If you hear something that's different, if you hear something that's a little bit challenging, what I'd like to do is request that you not say to yourself, not possible. Instead of saying it's not possible, catch that thought. You know, hold that thought back. You see, once you say that, you've actually closed the door. It doesn't matter what information I give you, you've made your mind up. And it'll take a very long time for you to change that or be open to anything. And that being the case, well, you know what? You've just wasted the time that you've invested here tonight. However, if instead, yeah, my deal is I'd request that instead of saying it's not possible, what you could do is say, isn't that interesting? Let's practice that one together. Come on. Isn't that interesting? You see, when you say that, you're not agreeing with me. Would that be right? Yeah, you're not agreeing. But you're keeping the door open. You haven't agreed with me, but you're keeping the door open. And it allows me to give you more information. It allows me to answer your questions. It allows me to give you the solutions that you actually want. And then you can take all that information and say, you know what? I see how that could work, but it's not for me right now. That's okay. Or you could look at it and go, you know what? I see. That works. Does that make sense? Do we have a deal? Yes. Is that a good deal? Okay, great. So that's all you need to do is say, isn't that interesting? But it must always be followed up by another thing. And this I attribute the success that I've had in property to this statement. You must always ask yourself, how can I make that work for me? You see, when I started investing, everyone said to me, oh, well, you can't really do anything right now. You got to wait, love, wait. Yeah, save up a bit more, 5, 10, or realistically more like 10, 12 years from now, then you can buy. I'd actually worked out budget-wise, if I did need to save for a deposit, yeah, on a very modest one at that, it would take me a minimum of 7 years. Yeah, minimum of 7 years, but it's more realistically to 10 to 12 years to have any sort of deposit together. Now, because of my income was quite low, right? Now, if I had waited that time, by the time I had my deposit will not be worth as much as everything that I wanted it to be worth later on. It won't be worth as much as it was 7 years ago. Does that make sense? Like $20,000 today won't be worth the same 5 years from now. Would you agree? Yes. Yeah. So I didn't want to wait. This is what you need to ask yourself to resolve issues like that. How can I make it work? When you hear something, sometimes people can't imagine themselves in the situation. If they can't imagine themselves in the situation, they say, nah, not possible. So don't say that. Ask yourself, say, oh, isn't that interesting? And say, look at things differently and go, okay, well, instead of putting that there and this there, what if we swapped it around? Now it works for me. So find out how can you make it work for you. All right, why invest? What are the reasons for us investing? Well, 92% of the population retire at an income of less than $15,000 a year. Not a what if, it's what's happening right now. Of those retirees, 79% retire on less than $12,000 a year. Hands up if you'd happily retire on that amount. Anyone? No takers. No, me neither. Yeah? So it's really important. I think, here's what I find crazy. I work in the finance and property industry. So I've been working in the loans area for quite some time with lenders and as a broker and as a mortgage insurer, funny enough. And what I've noticed with people is sometimes I work with people and I say to them, you know, we've got to increase your income. Your income's low. If we change that, we could get more. Now, I think that we have done the wrong thing by society. I'm very, very grateful to live here in Australia, but I think we've done something wrong to society where we've taught people to, I guess, value freebies or small amounts, yeah, at the cost of lifestyle or the cost of our health or well-being. What do I mean by that? When I say to people, okay, let's look at your details, look at your income. Oh, you know what? We really should look at ways to increase this income. You know what common reaction I get sometimes? I can't. I'm like, what do you mean you can't? Why? Why wouldn't you want to increase your income? The answer to that they give me sometimes, well, if I increase my income, I'll lose my pension. What have we done to society to make people believe that they should only aspire to get their pension? Hands up if you think that's crazy. Yeah, I think that's mental. Yeah, that we've actually told people, oh, you work hard, because Australians work really, really hard. You work hard all your life, at the end of your working life, we'll give you a freebie, but the deal is you stay down there. You live poorly, and we'll give you your freebie. You know what? I'm glad that's there to fall back on, but I'd rather dictate the way I want to live and earn the money I want. Who's with me? Yeah? Okay, brilliant. Now, before I go on to the next section, I want to clear a term, and that's called net assets. For the purpose of this conversation, what do I mean by net assets? It's your property values minus your debt equals your net assets, okay? So what do we need? So what is the income, or rather the amount of net assets that we need to create the income that we want? If we want 20 grand a year, we need net assets of $400,000. If we want 30 grand a year, we need net assets of $600,000. 40 grand a year, we need net assets of $800,000. And for 50 grand a year, you need $1 million in net assets. So how are you going to achieve this is the big question. Some of you have started, some of you are just beginning, some of you are well on your way, but you know what? Hands up here if you'd like it to happen a whole lot faster. Anyone? Okay, brilliant, because that's what I want to show you how to do this evening. Now, one thing I would like to do this evening, I would like to help you guys earn an extra 40 grand a year. Is that all right? But for now, what I'd like you to do is write down, okay, I'm going to be very specific with my words. Write down the amount of income per annum you need to live the life that you want. Not to survive, the income you need to live the life you actually want. Just write that down for me there. And then what I want you to do is times it by 20. This is an integral part of tonight's event. If you're like me and you're attached to a calculator and you can't think without a calculator, double the number and add a couple of zeros, yeah? It's the easiest way to do it. So double the number and add a couple of zeros. All right. Who is now looking at a figure that is below $1 million? In other words, you're happy to earn about 50 grand a year or less. No, I've got a face there. No. All right, 1 to 1.5, meaning $75,000. 1.5 to 2 million, around about the $100,000 mark. 2 to 2.5, 125,000. 2.5 to 3 million. No takers above 3 million, hands up. The end figure there? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we now have a target. What you have written down is the amount of net assets you need to create the income that you want. So, who thinks we better get a move on? Yeah. Yeah? Okay. All right, great. So it's absolutely a race against time. This is very important. What I love about investment properties is it puts your money to work for you and it gives you financial security. So the idea is to acquire property over time and for those properties to pay you an income in the form of rent. Now, not only does it pay you income, what I love about property is it gives you growth. That's what we call capital growth. So whilst it pays you, and the longer you hold it, it has the opportunity to grow as well. Now, has anyone heard here this saying, property always goes up? Yeah? Whoever told you that, they lied. It doesn't always go up. Properties go in cycles, would that be right? Yeah. They go up and down. The long-term trend, however, is up. That has been proven over the last 50, 60 years. Yeah. So what I want to do is help you create an extra 40 grand in income. How much net assets do we need to create to be able to do that? Do you remember? It's $800,000 in net assets. Yeah. So have we seen properties grow by 5% in a year? Absolutely, we have. That's $40,000 in one hit right there. If it was 7%, there's $56,000. 10%, have you seen properties grow by 10% in 12 months? We have seen properties almost double at the peak of the market. This absolutely does happen. Does it happen everywhere? No. Yeah, but it happens at different places at different times. Would you agree? Yeah, absolutely. 10% growth, that's $80,000 right there, all in 1 year. Now, let's say you're thinking, you know what, I'm loving it so far, I'm a little bit peckish, I'm hungry. And you decide you want to make a burger. And you go out to Coles and you buy the burger bun, there's $1.20 right there. You buy the tomatoes, there's 70 cents. You can't buy one piece of lettuce, so you've got to buy the whole head of lettuce. There's $1.30. Pickles and onions, you can't buy one pickle. You get the jar, $3 right there. Sliced pack of cheese, that's $2.50. Beef patties in a 4-pack over in Coles, $5. And unless you're extremely stingy and you steal those squidgy things from the cafe downstairs, you need to buy your own bottle of sauce. There's $3 right there. So what happens then? You go to the supermarket, you pick all your ingredients, you go to the counter, you pay for everything, you take it home, you put everything away, you take out what you need to cook, you cook